Hey, how's it going? CGR here. Just wanted to talk about, I just got an amazing massage right now, and I went through some immense pain during the massage. The masseuse that I have, this guy is awesome. His name is James. He knows what he's doing, and he really knows how to get to the root of the problem. And it just made me think that it's kind of funny because who would have thought I came in here, I was in so much pain. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've gotten a massage, but I was in a lot of pain, like especially my lower back. You know, I got four little kids. I take care of them primarily at home, stuff like that. And it was nice to get that relief because usually like when I get massages, it's just like a temporary thing, but this felt like the guy just knew what was going on and hit some areas where I didn't know. So that brought me to a point that I was thinking, like the book that I'm trying to spread to the world and trying to get into as many hands as possible. It's a guidebook, and it's a lot of it is lessons that I've learned, and a lot of it is research that I've done, a lot of stuff that I've looked up, a lot of scientific evidence and research that goes behind some of the anecdotal stories that I have going on in the book. But it just made me think. It's kind of funny because a lot of times we don't think that, to get what you want, you think it has to be this smooth, easy, like path of least resistance thing. And usually that is the case. Like path of least resistance is always a good thing because it shows you where you're getting like a smooth, clear flow. And that's cool. But sometimes there has to be a little bit of pain or discomfort, right? So that you can heal and eventually get rid of the pain. So I came in here with a bunch of weight and a bunch of pain rather. And that pain was like, it hurt, and I was kind of like, oh my goodness, like my lower back, I was walking around like an old man at my house. And even though like I play with my kids and stuff like that, and I'm with my wife, I was still like, goodness, like it's been hurting. And like for the first time in like, I don't know, more than a year, I actually feel like I don't feel this constant pain in my lower back. And it was making me think about how that could be applied not to just dating, but just life in general. Like sometimes you need to go through a little bit of pain, you need to go through a little bit of discomfort, right? So that you can make the changes that you need to be the person that you have to be in order to get either, the love of your life, to get the job, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're going for, right? Sometimes you got to go through a little bit of pain. Sometimes it's not pleasant. It's not fun when you're going through the pain, but to remember the pain that you were in, right? So let's say in the context of dating, the pain that you were in when you were single, or when you couldn't figure out why you couldn't find the right person and you kept on dating the person that wasn't good for you. And the person is, and then you start noticing that there's a pattern, and the pattern is you keep on dating the similar kind of people, and then they end up being the same thing. And you start wondering, like, why is this happening over and over again, right? But the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is kind of funny in that way because we're allowed to go through the same things many times, sometimes repeatedly, sometimes way too many times if we don't learn the lessons. But we're allowed to go through these things so that we can see and understand that that's not exactly what we like, that's not exactly what we want or prefer in our lives. And when you get to that point where you're able to see it, and now you understand that, oh, okay, yeah, that was the problem. I don't like, in my case, it was the pain, right? So I already learned the things that I needed to learn. That's why I decided I felt confident enough to write the book, because I was like, I figured out a lot. I learned a lot of painful, hard lessons before I met my wife. But the funny thing is that all those lessons, they set me up. They set me up for, for being able to meet my wife and to just have things flow. So see, like I went through the pain of being cheated on. That's a whole long story, but being cheated on sucks. Nobody likes going through that. And I used to think that, as a man, as long as I behave good and I don't cheat on the girl, that I would never get cheated on. I never thought that a woman could do that kind of stuff. So long story short, I went through a lot of pain before I met my wife, because I always wanted to be with somebody that would love me for who I am, not because of what I have. And clearly she loves me for who I am, because I don't have much right now except for my, my positivity and my creativity and my my abilities, I guess. But it's not like that's doing much. So basically my point is that the pain that I just went through to heal was absolutely helpful, absolutely necessary. And then when I look back in the past, even though I would never want to go through that situation again that I went through with that one person that broke my heart, it made me realize that, here I am, I'm stronger, I'm better for it. I have a wife who has supported me financially for like the last 15 years. I've been struggling, guys. It's been I can't even say it's bad luck. I think that's one of those things where the universe was trying to show me certain things, and I'm a slow learner when it comes to big lessons. I learn little things and like quick things, I learn it right away. But when it comes to like those big lessons, I tend to be a little bit of a slow learner. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to leave you guys with that metaphor of sometimes, sometimes you have to go through the necessary pain. And then when it comes to dating and it comes to like just being a better version of yourself, the pain is actually dealing with the stuff that if you're talking alone and you're talking with God or the universe or whatever, something's talking to you and you know that you can't lie to it. You know that there's certain things that about you that you don't even like yourself. There's certain things about yourself that you're like, why do I do that? Or like, why do I keep doing that? Like, why do I keep making these choices or doing these actions that lead to the same results that are not the results that I'm looking for? So, in the same way that I went to go get a massage today, I recommend that you go to Amazon and search A Lover's Compendium, How to Love, Find Love, and Continue Loving, and give it a shot, And I was requested to make an audiobook, so I think that'll be coming down the pipeline soon. And who knows, if these videos do good and if it helps enough people and you guys give me some positive comments and positive feedback, I'll go ahead and maybe start like a YouTube channel where I can do stuff like this and just talk every now and then. So I'm going to try to keep this one under 10 minutes. It's around 6 minutes and 35 seconds right now. So I'm going to go ahead and end it. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you've watched all the way to the end, I appreciate you. Much love to you. And my goal here, my objective is to give as much love and as much value as I can to the listener, and hope that, in return, we can start something good in this world. We can make a world where everybody's not talking about how terrible it is to date and how sucky it is to be single. I see a lot of beautiful single people, and I'm talking about like men, women, like everything. Like, it doesn't even matter, but I see a lot of it. And, it makes me sad because I'm so happy with my wife that it's like, I could have just kept it to myself. I could have written I'm a good writer, I think. So I could have written a book about like something fantasy or sci-fi. And that's really more my alley. Like, I do have my game studio, Mana Entertainment. So, I'm creative. I'm a fun-loving person, right? So I could have done that, and I probably will do that eventually because I do love writing. It's who I am. But yeah, I'm hoping that this book that I wrote, never thought I would write a self-help book, but I'm hoping that it actually helps you guys, because it's a lot of the things that has helped me to get to the point where I was able to find the love of my life. I've been with my wife. We've been married for about 16 years now, and even though I wish that it could have been one of those things where I was like super successful, like super rich, and I could have let her quit her job and she could rely 100% on me and all those kind of things, it didn't happen that way, and that was painful as well. So there's probably something that I need to learn from that as well. So just keep that in mind. Pain can sometimes, if the pain is leading towards something that's good, don't fight it, don't resist it. Try not to like put up. I know internally that survival instinct is going to be like, pain, not good. Like me, I'm a believer in no pain, no gain. I don't like none of that stuff. I don't want nothing to do with that. I am all about the path of least resistance. But I'm starting to learn now in life, and I'm still learning, by the way. Just because I wrote the book and I'm using a lot of scientific evidence, and I'm using a lot of facts, and I'm using a lot of anecdotal data that might be really accurate and really, applicable, something that you can apply. That doesn't mean that I'm some sort of like, mystical guru on the mountain that's floating around and, just all day. I don't do none of that stuff. I do meditate, and I love meditating. That's the story for another day. But anyway, my point is, I'm still learning. So learn with me. Let's learn together, and let's make this world a better world in whatever way we can. If right now in this video, my objective is to help you find my book. And I want that book to, if you have good experiences with it and it helps you, and you notice that things are starting to go better for you, and maybe you find that love of your life, go ahead and let me know. You guys can find me on my socials. On Facebook, I go by Chris Gideon Rosario. The same thing that's the CGR, by the way. Same thing. I'm there on Threads. I'm on Instagram. I don't use Instagram as much because I don't take as many pictures, but I'll be posting this on Instagram as well if it lets me. And yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It's 9 minutes and 46 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Have a good day. Much love. Peace.